make one of my favorite things that I think I do better than almost anybody, and that's yogurt, homemade yogurt. You know, you can go down to the store, pay at least 50 cents for something that's kind of mediocre, in my opinion. You can go online, look on Amazon, you can find these yogurt makers that will make a grand total of up to 8 little half pints. Yeah, you know, if you got a family, that's like making yogurt every day. And I can't find anything more than that. So what I've done is I have built my own yogurt maker. I can make pretty close to a half a gallon, or excuse me, a gallon at a time, and then put those in half pint containers, half pint glasses. And I forget how many that makes. Was there 2 pints in a quart, 4 quarts? So I'd say that's about 16, at least 16 half pints. You know, it's English system. You know, you really need a chart to figure that out. So I'm going to show you what I built as a yogurt maker. And then I'm going to actually make some and show you how that turns out when I package it tomorrow. Well, this is my famous homemade yogurt maker. You can see I started out with just a standard ice chest. I think this might be a 48 quart, not exactly sure. Square worked out really well. On the outside, you can see where I have drilled through, and my power cord comes right there. There is the little knob for my temperature control. Now let's look inside. And I stole the part from the pot from a slow cooker. It'll hold almost a gallon. Now you see the heating elements around here? This actually came from a chicken incubator. You can pick these up for a little over $40 at places like Tractor Supply or some of the other, or online. Buy from your local dealer, pay the local taxes. And if I can pull my cord out of here. Now, it's one thing if you go and build something like this. One important factor is to play with it for a few days with some water in here and adjust it to about 110 degrees Fahrenheit. I have a little thermometer in here. This came with the incubator, if I remember. And I usually just put it on top like that and check it once or maybe twice. And turn the little knob to get the temperature correct takes a couple of days. You don't want it over 110. You'll kill your culture. Below a little 110, that's not much of a problem as long as you don't get it too low, because that way it's just going to affect the time it takes to make it. So I've lost the knob on here that rusted out, but I'll take this out and show you how to mix that up next. So one of the things I'll do is I like to use whole milk. I like mine rich. I use whole milk, I use sweetened condensed milk and heat those to denature the proteins. Because this is what happens if you don't. It'll still taste fine, but it'll have a consistency that reminds me of Elmer's glue. Not real appealing. So, if you're used to having yogurt, of course, you know, they've denatured it, and it's delicious in a nice consistency. Now, you get online, you read it, and it says 180 degrees, keep it there for 30 minutes. I have not found that to be a concern. So I just heat it to 180 degrees. Then I cool it very, very quickly, preferably in an ice bath, to 100, at least down to 110 degrees. And if it's more than 110, you add your yogurt, you'll kill your culture. If it's below that, don't worry about it. Your incubator will take care of it over the next few hours. So this helps to make it, actually I probably should use a whisk on this, shouldn't I? This helps to make it richer, a little bit thicker. Now, if you read a little bit about yogurt, we don't have a problem as far as obtaining fresh milk. It's very popular in a lot of cultures throughout the world. But understand that in India, one of the things they do, since fresh milk is sometimes hard to come by, and I'm sure this is true of a lot of countries, third world countries, developing countries, they will actually use just evaporated milk, evaporated, recondensed. I'm sure you can use powdered milk and recondense it, canned milk, but those are other options. For us, it's a whole heck of a lot more convenient to do it this way. And you know what I think I'm going to do is I'll get this one started and get a little bit more milk. I may go ahead and denature this also. Put it on here. And turn it down basically about as low as it will go. So I'll get another pot, get the other one started, and that will probably be a little bit more than will fit in my crock pot, but be that as it may, I'm sure the dogs might enjoy it, okay? Well, I've been checking this pretty steadily for just right at an hour, maybe a few minutes more than that. So let's go ahead and take our digital thermometer and I stir it, try to keep it moving. The large one, about 159, okay. My smaller one, 180.3, okay. So the smaller one's ready. So all I'll do right now is just take it and I'll pour it in my crock pot, all right. You know, look, it doesn't look like it's scorched. Scorching it does kind of ruin the taste. So we'll keep stirring gently, try to keep it moving, and that way heating it slowly, keeping it moving, pacing the floor, getting your exercise in, all that is beneficial. So let me check this again. Whoops, it turned off. Which, by the way, don't put these in the oven. They don't take to that very often. Just a pro tip. 160.5. Okay, so I've got another 20 degrees to go. I'll keep playing with that until it gets 180, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, let's check it. I've been checking it actually quite a while. So, digital thermometer, 180, 184, 183, and 182.5. So it's good. I'll need it 180. So let me take the lid off of this. And actually, I don't want to burn my hands, so take a couple of hot lifters, like so. There we go. Actually, got almost all of it in there. Just a very small amount not. And now, I've already got a water bath over there with ice and water. And I'll sit in there. This actually took about an hour and a half. But I'll sit in there and I'll take my time since there's no rush. And it needs to come down to 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Then, I'll throw my yogurt, mix it up, put it in the incubator. Okay, it's probably been about an hour, something like that. And so what I want is down to below 110 degrees. As long as it's below that, we're good to go, because above that would kill my culture. So I've got my little instant read thermometer. Kind of stir it around there, get a good reading. Oh yeah, 86, 91 degrees. So we're plenty safe right there. Right. Now this is, it's just Greek yogurt. The brand is not important. And actually you don't need this much. You can see I've only got maybe half. You know, the only thing is maybe it'll take a little bit longer. So the absolute amount is not that important. So I'll scrape that in there. A lot of times I just use a real small one. It just happened that for the recipe I was using for something else the other day, this happened to be the volume available. Okay, Do that. Whisk it in really, really good. Like so. There we go. Put my lid on it. Have my little thermometer. I'll lay that on top. I'll probably not check it again until morning. Set it down in the incubator. Now, as I said, I don't turn the incubator on until this is ready to go. There we go. And when I do take it out in the morning, one precaution is to be really careful, because those heating elements that I was showing you earlier, they'll burn you. So anyway, it's 9 o'clock at night. I'll plug it in. 9-ish in the morning, I'll pull it out and start putting it in half-pint jars. Now, one of the things that you'll read on the internet a lot of times, in a lot of the instructions, if you leave it too long, it gets bitter. It starts producing excessive lactic acid. I've left it in there 14, 15, 16 hours. It's not a problem that I've run across. As a precaution, I wouldn't leave it more than 12 hours. So anyway, plug it in, leave it overnight, and we'll see how it goes in the morning. All right? All right. Well, it's been just over 12 hours since I started my yogurt culture. So I'll pull that out of the incubator, as I said, being very careful so not to burn. Have a scoop to get out, whatever you want to call this thing, in order to get it into the half-pint jars so that you don't spill it everywhere. I mean, it's going to be a little bit messy. That just goes with cooking, don't you know? But look at this. Let me pull this over. I don't know if you can see it. It kind of jiggles just a little bit. There's a little bit of the whey on top that we'll get rid of. That's not important. So I'll go through, I'll fill these up. I've got my jar lids. Now, these are standard size jar lids. And you know, of course, that if you're canning, pressure canning, hot water canning, then you can't reuse those lids once you remove them. But these, they're never under pressure or anything like that. So they can be used over and over and over. So let's go ahead and spend a little time scooping this in here. Plop, plop. There we go. Do you remember the old Pepto-Bismol? No, it wasn't Pepto-Bismol. What was that? Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. I remember the advertisement, just don't remember the product they were advertising. That's kind of what that sounds like. Plop. Not quite enough. Oh, it's nice, smooth, warm, no bitter aftertaste. So this is after just about 12 and a half hours. So what have we got? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18 half pints of this. So I'll put the lids on it, stick it in the refrigerator to keep, and 1 or 2 a day. You know, they're good probiotics. There's about 4 different types of probiotic bacteria in this, and I'm going to enjoy it for quite a few days to come. Thanks for watching.